Okay, this weekend, Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera is going to be happening, and I think the fight is going to absolutely stink up the night. Plus, I think we are about to see a brand new era of Sean O'Malley be born. I can foresee his future just being one of leg kicks from range. We've seen this with previous champions in the past, and I think it's going to be happening again. Now, firstly, overall, I think all of UFC 299 is going to be amazing. I think we're really going to enjoy the night. But I've just had this premonition coming forward of now that Sean O'Malley is champion, he is going to be very conservative when it comes to the striking game. And with how Chito Vera fights, I can see this probably ending up being one of the worst fights on the entire card and just boring us all to death. I think Sean O'Malley is about to go down the exact same path that Israel Adesanya went down when he became champion. You know, when Israel first became the champion, when he fought Kelvin Gastelum, we saw him have this do or die attitude. He was getting the absolute piss beaten out of him by Kelvin Gastelum. Israel Adesanya, one of the best strikers in the game, by the way, got actually beaten up by Kelvin Gastelum pretty badly. Just let that sink in for a minute. But remember before that last round, right? Israel Adesanya, he's standing there in the corner and there is this very famous meme going down, you know, this moment in MMA history where Izzy is whispering to himself that he's willing to die in there. He's willing to die in there, okay? And that's the sort of energy that Israel Adesanya had when he first became the champion. But then very quickly after that, we started to see the birth of the mythical fighter Israel Adesanya leg kicks from range. He goes and he calls out Yoel Romero in one of the sleepiest performances we've ever seen, just trying to secure yet another title for himself. And then furthermore, the moment for me that truly lost me as an Israel Adesanya fan was the moment when he walked out to the Undertaker music, carrying an urn, promising to put a clinic on Jared Cannonier, and went on to again shoot rangy leg kicks for 25 minutes. All of it was there just so Israel Adesanya could secure another win. And then the moment that the fight was over, he would get on the microphone and say, oh yeah, I had a few injuries, or it's not my fault if the opponent doesn't want to fight, or sorry about the lackluster performance, I just wasn't feeling it tonight. There was always some excuse. But because of him just winning, as long as he just won, then the brain dead fans would go along and just say, yeah, still won though. What an amazing striker. You have to beat the champion. They would all run defense for these super lackluster performances. And I'm already starting to see this sort of vibe come out of the Sean O'Malley crowd. The Sean O'Malley crowd seem to believe that he is this mythical striker that just cannot be touched. They are already heavily glazing Sean O'Malley. And I do not doubt that Team O'Malley is a fairly smart team. And I do think that we are now going to see a whole switch in the way that Sean O'Malley fights. You know, previously he would always look for a flashy knockout on his way up the rankings. He would always look to try and put on a star-studded performance. But now that he is the champion, we've already seen straight away, before he even had to go and fight Merab Dvalishvili, he already started to try and put out this narrative of fighting Ilia Topuria. Not Alexander Volkanovski, someone who could actually really hurt him, but Ilia Topuria. And then Ilia Topuria goes out and does what he does to Volk, and now Sean O'Malley has suddenly pivoted to another direction and wants to go after Merab again. What O'Malley is doing is he's thinking long-term about his career, which is the clever thing to do. Like, let's not hate on O'Malley for wanting to pick out the easiest fights possible, right? But doing that, you can tell that he's looking at his career long-term. And I think that that is going to start to take effect, and it's going to start to take effect at UFC 299. And with Marlon Vera being the first opponent, we are going to get these first two rounds that are going to be super conservative from O'Malley. I can just see this. Super boring, lackluster rounds where we start to wait for O'Malley to open up, where the commentators start to say, you know, this is Vera's shot. He's got to have to start going after O'Malley. And those first two rounds are just going to be these rangy, pop-shotty leg kicks from range. They're going to be very boring. The third round, Vera might start to open it up a bit, but it might be enough for O'Malley to win overall on points. And then, hopefully, if Marlon Vera comes with a little bit of a killer instinct, he can start to push O'Malley into the fourth and fifth round, and O'Malley's going to have to do a lot more dancing, and they might look like Marlon Vera wins those fourth and fifth rounds. Maybe. Depends how well O'Malley does with the striking on the counters as he's running away, if he does the more damaging shots. he might win those rounds as well. It's going to come down to a controversial split decision where we go, oh, the judges gave it to O'Malley, you've got to take it from the champion. And we're all going to be super frustrated with Vera, saying if only he went ahead and actually gave it to the champion. If only he went ahead and actually fought the champion and actually wanted to win. And then O'Malley's going to go on and he's going to fight Merab. And Merab is going to be running in, spamming takedowns, just like people used to try and spam takedowns on Israel Adesanya. And Israel used to be able to back up against the cage and post and get his underhooks in and win that little clinch position against the cage. Izzy was fantastic at that. And then spin out, do a couple of leg kicks, spin out to range, couple more leg kicks, keep dancing around the outside of the cage, leg kick, jab, counter, run away. And that, I think, is going to be very, very similar to the Merab Dvalishvili fight. I can see Merab just constantly spamming those takedowns, one takedown every 30 seconds, constantly failing. And as O'Malley breaks that clinch, as O'Malley gets away from it, grabs the cage a couple of times, does a few eye pokes on the way in, the referee gives him a couple of warnings, and he just keeps running around on the outside popping shots. I think this is going to be the norm for O'Malley's career going forward. It's going to be this constant scraping through decisions until somebody finally takes it to him and gets past that running away, counter-striking style that he's going to now start to implement. I think now that he is champion, we're going to start to see a far less aggressive Sean O'Malley. And we're going to start to see this O'Malley that just slowly backs away and takes pop shots and keeps doing these podcasts talking about these master clinics that he's going to put on, keeps throwing out these excuses of how he was a little bit injured going into this fight, but the next one he's going to go in there and take his head off. And this is exactly what Israel Adesanya did during his career. The exact same thing. Izzy was constantly talking about how he wants to put on a master performance. He's going to hurt him. He's going in there to kill. And then we would just get these shitty leg kick from range battles. O'Malley is going to do the exact same thing. Talk about these master performances. Go on his podcast and talk about how he thinks he could have beaten Conor McGregor at 145 when Conor McGregor was absolutely peaking. Like, Conor McGregor had that karate stance and could snipe anybody. If Conor McGregor and O'Malley got into the cage when Conor McGregor was at that peak level of 145 where he looked like a homeless Irishman that wanted to kill anybody just to get his hands on dinner for the night, O'Malley would be sleeping. So O'Malley's just going out there saying these wild things, keeping his name in the media, doing everything that he should be doing. Like, there are plenty of things to hate O'Malley for, right? Letting dudes bang his wife. Very odd, okay? Very, very odd behavior. So there's plenty of reasons to get on O'Malley's back, but him going out there and riling up as much attention as he can and then securing a long-term legacy for himself, trying to get as many wins as he can in the safest manner possible is just one of those things that he has to go out there and do. So it's hard to be like, you know, it's hard to blame him for that, but for us, the fans, it's going to be incredibly boring. And I think after the war that Benoit Saint-Denis and Dustin Poirier are going to put on for us, we are then going to go out there and see Sean O'Malley sleep for 10 minutes, just do these pop shots while Marlon Vera thinks about the right way to enter. And then once Marlon does start to pick it up, it's going to be too little, too late. Split decision for Sean O'Malley. The fans being a little bit disappointed. O'Malley saying it's not his fault that Marlon Vera didn't want to fight and charge at him, calling out Merab, and then we start the entire circus again. Unfortunately, that is how I see an amazing pay-per-view wrapping up. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comments. What do you see for Sean O'Malley coming forward? Do you think we're going to see that sort of highlight chasing O'Malley still now that he's champion, someone who takes a lot of risks? Or do you think we're going to start to see a much more conservative approach come from Sean O'Malley? Let me know down there in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And of course, I will see you all in the next one.